Hey, what's up? My name is Tyson Brown and I want to welcome you to Tyson's Fitness Tips podcast. This is Australia's top health and fitness podcast to help you lose weight, look good with your shirt off, feel confident in your body, and finally achieve the goals you want with your health and fitness. So 5 days a week, I'm going to be giving you top information from myself and also from leading experts in the field so you know everything you need to do to get in the best shape of your life. From nutrition to mindset to workout, everything is covered in this podcast and you need to go nowhere else. So like I said, it's going to be 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, in your ears with quick actionable segments that you can implement straight away, because the most important thing is that you can put these things into play. Also, if you listen all the way to the end of the episode, you're going to get 2 special gifts that you can download upon listening to it. So make sure you listen all the way to the end to get those free gifts, okay? So let's get into the episode. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Tyson's Fitness Tips, and today, hopefully you can see me okay, today I'm going to be talking to you about Brad and the Phantom Doughnuts and what environment has to do with achieving your goals. So this is lesson number 4 in Harry Potter's teachings, and how this relates to Harry Potter is you've got to think about in episode number 1, when Harry's surrounded by the Dursleys and he lives in that house and he lives under the staircase and there's nothing going on for him, right? He feels like he's lost, like there's nothing there. He's got a bad mindset. He thinks that this is his life, and you can just see the way that he acts, the way that he looks. He looks like nothing's going to happen with him. Like he just looks like he's going to be that way forever. And he's got that mentality in his head. And when it comes to the environment, if you have a shitty environment, you're going to have a shitty mindset. You're going to eat the wrong type of foods. You're going to make the wrong decisions because your environment is so powerful and we don't realize it. We can try and rely on willpower. We can try and do all these things. But at the end of the day, like, your environment is a huge factor as to whether you stay on track with your health and fitness, whether you achieve the goal you want, and whether you just push yourself mentally further. And that's why I want to talk about environment today, because it's such a powerful tool in your fat loss journey. So, as I was saying about Harry Potter before, right? He was in this shitty environment. He had low energy. He had low motivation. He looked like he was going to do nothing with his life. He was living with the Dursleys. And then you look at him 7 years later, when he's surrounded by powerful wizards, when he's surrounded by mentors, when he's got people who want to support him and bring him up. Like, how confident is he? How much better is he? You see him standing better. He's older. He's more mature. He's excited. He's got energy. And that's the thing that you want to have when it comes to reaching your goals. So I want to tell you about a story about one of my clients, Brad. So what Brad did to me what Brad said to me when he first, he started training with me online, and he's like, look, Tyson, I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to eat clean. I'm making the right decisions, and I just can't seem to lose weight. And so I was like, all right, Brad, that sounds a little bit interesting. Tell me about a typical day, what it looks like. And he told me how he goes to work, he eats this, what he eats during the day. And it sounded pretty healthy, yet he wasn't getting enough protein, which was one thing that I picked up on. But then the second thing he told me is that sometimes I have a donut. I'm like, oh, did you have one yesterday? He goes, yeah. And I said, did you have one today? He goes, oh, yeah, I did actually. I said, how many times is sometimes? And then he went quiet for a second. He said, oh, it's actually, now that you think about it, it's actually every day. And I'm like, you're having one donut a day? He goes, yeah, usually. And I'm like, just one? And he goes, no, today I had 2. And I said, what did you have yesterday? And he goes, I think I had 2 or 3. And when we started digging more and more, I found out that Brad was having 2 to 3 donuts, sometimes 4 a day. 3 to 4 donuts a day, 5 days a week when you're at work, right? That's 800 calories right there. 800 extra calories he was consuming from donuts every single day. But he wasn't aware that it was his environment doing it, because he didn't think about it. It was actually somebody else doing that to him. It was a co-worker coming in every day after lunch, bringing in the donuts for everybody else, and he just fell into the trap of the environment. So what we had to do is we had to change those environment things, what he was surrounded by, and once we did that, he was able to get on the weight loss train. It was really that simple. It was making that small, subtle change. And you've got to think about your environment, because what's in your house, what you're surrounded by at work, what you're surrounded by on the weekends, what you do with your friends, all of those things are going to affect your choices you make, okay? Because if you go out with friends who love to drink and party every weekend, you're probably someone who likes to drink and party every weekend. If you have people who love to eat junk food all the time, you probably go and eat junk food all the time. And if you're trying to lose weight, you've got to make some environmental shifts, okay? So we're going to talk about, first of all, you want to go into your house. I want you to go into your house, and I want you to open your cupboard, and I want you to open your fridge. And I want you to clear out everything that you know is a temptation for you, that you know you'll give into. So if you've got chips in the cupboard, get rid of them. If you've got ice cream in the freezer, get rid of it. Because all these foods, I talk about the 80-20 rule, which is so important, like for maintaining, to be able to have like good choices and to be able to not feel like you're restricting. But if you have those certain foods in your house that cause you to overeat, to binge, to trigger eat and all those things, you can't have them in your house. There's foods you can have and enjoy, and then there's trigger foods that are going to cause you to eat the whole box, right? Like, so for me, I can have 2 pieces of dark chocolate and stop. But if I have Cadbury dairy chocolate, I'll eat the whole fucking block. And so I know what the difference is between a certain food I can enjoy and I can still feel like I'm not dieting, versus a food that I'm going to completely overeat. It's like peanut butter, I can still enjoy, versus Nutella. If I have Nutella, that's not even gonna come home with me. It gets eaten on the walk on the way home from the shops. So think about that. Cut away those trigger foods, okay? Now here's gonna be a common thing. Oh, it's my housemates. Oh, it's my partners. Oh, it's my kid. Whatever it is, this is where the second part comes in about your environment. Talking to the people who you need to be supporting you with. Now, this is an important one. I know it's going to be tough, but you have to have those conversations with them. You have to tell them you're trying to achieve a goal and you need their help. You have to ask them to no longer offer you those foods if they're trying to offer you stuff. And the same thing goes at work. Like, if you have a goal, you need to make sure these people are on the same track with you. It's going to be an awkward conversation, but you're going to feel so much better when you have that conversation. And just ask them to support you. Be like, hey, look, I'm really trying to lose weight. Can you please not offer me the food? Or instead of asking them to not buy it, hey, can you please hide the food from me? Or can you please make sure if you see me, charge me money, like, charge me $100, whatever it's going to be. Do something that's going to help positively impact your environment. Because when you get rid of trigger foods, first of all, and then you change the people who you surround yourself with and you ask them to support you, everything becomes so much easier because you don't have to rely on that mental willpower all the time because you've already set up your environment. And this is actually what I've been doing lately. I am currently on my, I would say I just finished my dieting phase. And when I was on my dieting phase, I actually didn't work at home at all. Because I'm a personal trainer, I obviously go and train clients. But when I'm not training clients, usually I'll be back at home and I'll be doing computer work. What I did instead is I brought my laptop, brought my computer, brought everything to the gym itself and stayed there the whole day. I packed my food that I needed to eat for the day and I left it there. This way there was no temptations. This way I didn't have to rely on my willpower to try and get through the day. Because some days you're not going to have willpower there and you can't always rely on willpower. But when you have your environment set up for success, it's so much easier to stick to because you don't have to rely on that willpower, okay? So when you start to make these subtle changes in your environment, at work, at home, on the weekend, who you hang out with, all those things, it just becomes a whole lot easier. Honestly, like, you don't have to rely on your mental fortitude all the time because up here, it's not always strong, especially the days you miss sleep, especially the days you're stressed, all those things. Like, it's so easy to give into temptation. But if that temptation isn't there, then all of a sudden, it's not going to be there. Like, if you go looking in the fridge and you haven't got an ice cream there, or you haven't got, I don't know, something you overeat on, packets of chips in the cupboard or any of that stuff, if it's not there because you decided to throw it away, then you're not going to eat it. I mean, humans are pretty lazy and we don't want to go drive down to the shop to get it, to eat it. I mean, we'd be like, no, it's not worth it. Some days you're going to be like, yeah, it's worth it. But that's also the thing with Uber Eats. Like, this talks about your environment on your phone too. Delete Uber Eats off your phone or block yourself from certain things that you can only have. I mean, for me, I have a rule that I don't buy, apart from Wednesday, apart from Saturday, I don't do any food shopping. So that means if I missed out something, too bad, because if I go into those shops in the other days, or if I go in there when I'm hungry, like, there's so much higher chance that I'm going to eat something bad that's going to throw me off. So what I do is I just change my environment instead, and it's so much easier to stick to in the long run. And as you can see, if you start doing this over time, you're going to realize that it's much easier to achieve your fitness goals. And then that's the same case for anything, for any goal. Like, whatever you want, you change your environment. And if you start hanging around with people who are more committed to their fitness, you're going to be more motivated to go to the gym. If you join like a If you have a training partner, he's going to be motivating you or she's going to be motivating you. If you have someone who goes for a morning walk with you, like, they're going to help keep you on track too. So surround yourself with those fit and healthy people. The more you can, the better it's going to be. Change your environment. Have the conversations that are going to be uncomfortable, but if you have the conversations, I can guarantee you it's going to be so much easier in the long run, because once, like, everyone, like, what do they say? Success comes from being willing to go outside of your comfort zone. I just completely butchered that quote, but it's something like that, right? So all you need to do is you need to step just a little bit further outside of that comfort zone, be willing to have those uncomfortable conversations, and watch the way you achieve your fitness goals become so much easier. So that's about changing your environment. When you do that, you'll become like Harry Potter, you'll become more confident, you'll become the best wizard you can be, and I can guarantee you that your fat loss journey will be so much easier. Okay, so we talked about that today. Stay tuned for tomorrow because we've got another episode coming up. This is day 2 of my fasting, and honestly, I've just got some apple cider vinegar in here. I'm still feeling pretty good. Like, I think I held it together this time for 10 minutes. All right, guys, speak to you next time. Hey, thanks for listening to the podcast. I really appreciate it. So now you've listened all the way to the end. That means you get some free goodies. So what you can do is you've got 2 different options, or you can take them both. I've got an intermittent fasting cheat sheet and a high protein 20 recipe meal guide designed specifically for you in your situation. These meal plans and this intermittent fasting guide is designed to help you burn stubborn belly fat and get in the best shape of your life. So all you have to do is go to the show notes, click on the download link, and they'll get sent straight to your email address. It's as simple as that. They're completely free. They're gonna help you transform your body. So go to the show notes now and download your free guides, and I'll speak to you in the next episode.